We're the indie project, Bee and Theo, and we've been living and travelling the world in vans for the past 6 years. We're currently renovating an abandoned stone barn in Portugal to turn into a beautiful tiny home for us and our cats, Ginjey Bear and Furrnando. Follow our journey from the very beginning as we document the whole process of creating an off-grid home.
Ginjey Bear. Hello. What are you doing?
Good morning, welcome back to our YouTube channel. It's a gorgeous, if a bit muggy day. The temperature's dropped down a bit, which is nice, and if you saw our last video, we had 2 unwell animals on our property. Margot the goat, something wrong with her ear. Ginjey Bear, something wrong with her bladder. And we'll give you an update on those in a minute. But firstly, Theo is also dealing with his own unwell issues.
So for the last 5 days, I've been pretty under the weather. Basically, I went to the dentist yesterday because it just got too much. I keep getting a lisp. It sounds like I'm slurring and that I'm on drugs, and actually am on drugs now. I've got some antibiotics that the dentist gave me, and he looked inside my mouth, obviously, as dentists do, and immediately he was like, both of your wisdom teeth are going to have to come out. So that's going to be fun. So in 3 days time I go back. I can barely talk. 3 days time I go back and I get my wisdom teeth out, because what's happened is the gums have grown over the wisdom teeth and both sides of the teeth have become infected. So I'm in a lot of pain right now, so let's see how much talking I do on this video, but I'm doing my best to just get on with it every single day because life goes on.
First thing we need to do, now Theo's told you all about his toothache, which I'm very happy that I don't have, is we need to go down to Margot. So you remember in the last video we found out that her ear was infected. I spoke to the vet and he said that the best thing to do is to just clean it ourselves. So we've been doing that for a good few days now, and there has been a very big improvement. All of the there was like a sore under the tag that had been causing the infection. It was all swollen and just quite uncomfortable, causing her a lot of discomfort. She was constantly trying to scratch it on things, which was just making it worse. So cleaning it every day. She's not, I wouldn't say she hates it, but I don't think she loves it. But we do give her little treats as well to keep her happy afterwards, and all of the other goats all stand around to make sure Margot's okay afterwards.
First thing we've got to do is actually get Margot into the horse box, and every day that we've been treating her, more and more she knows that we're coming to treat her ear. So we do bring her down some nice treats to have while she's getting cleaned up and for afterwards, but yeah, she's getting more and more clever, so this will be fun to get her into the horse box.
And Mathilde has taken one of the treats. Naughty, naughty Mathilde. to get the other leaves for the two leaves over there.
Right, so you stayed outside.
Yeah.
Come on. Come on.
Come on, good girl.
Good girl.
Right, do you want to take this? I'll go and get the stuff to clean. Try with that one. I'll go and get the stuff, okay? No.
Go on.
Get her down onto the with you if you can.
Come on.
There, good girl.
Come on. Be alright.
Good girl.
You like that, don't you?
Good girl. You can have some more in a second. I'm sure Theo will feed it to you.
Her ear's looking so much better.
The
You
swelling,
like that?
yeah, the swelling has completely gone down.
Yeah, it looks like the other ear, which is great.
Yeah. I think it's just itchy, so she has been trying to itch it because it's scabbing now, so
This will probably be like the last day, maybe tomorrow, clean it up, and then it will all be good.
it's okay. Come on. Good girl. You should give her another one if you can.
What's this?
Good girl.
What's this? What's this? She doesn't like the darker one, she likes the really green stuff.
The fresh baby leaf.
I think this is too far gone for her. What's this? What's this? There we go.
Margot.
There we go. Come on, nearly done.
I know, it's uncomfortable.
Nearly done. What's this?
Come on.
What's this?
Well, I don't like that
You
one.
need them to sniff it, and then once they sniff it, they're like, ooh. No? No more?
There's one more here.
Come on. Come on.
Do you not like that one?
There we go. And I think basically, well, eventually we're going to get these tags removed so this can't happen again. But when you register the animals, they put these tags in their ears.
I'm gonna have to
You
have
can see on our other ear, there's actually just a big hole through her ear. Can't be nice really, can it?
Sorry, I got iodine all over me. Yellow.
Clean me up at the same time.
And then the last bit is we put this spray
Oh.
on.
Come on.
This spray stops any flies and things trying to get involved with the wound, which is what we don't want. So she doesn't like this bit. I think it's cold and shocking, so just be prepared.
The flies at this time of year are starting to get fairly bad here in Portugal,
Good girl.
especially anywhere where there's animals, so this stuff will help massively.
Yes, it's cold, isn't it? Theo's mouth will get better now.
No
Right.
flies in my mouth.
Do you
She
want any more of this? Yeah? No?
Go on, have a treat.
Well, Matilde can have it then.
Ready?
Yeah. Well done, Margot. Good girl.
So Margot's all sorted, cleaned up and happy and back with the others, which is really nice. And they'll go on a forage all around the property later on for a nice walk. There's so much for them to eat around here, so they absolutely love it. When we open the gates, they're straight out foraging for all of the good stuff that they like to eat. And I'm really happy that I have Bee, because Bee's very experienced in looking after animals. If you guys don't know, she used to be a vet nurse, so she's used to giving injections, caring and treating animals. So it's very useful, because the more animals we get, the more kind of stuff like this we're going to have to do.
So I'm going to start with the first big task of the day, and that is this water in there, because we're emptying our tank there that has the top cut off. We're going to swap it out with one that is covered, because we have a spare one, and that one's going to go to the goat enclosure for their water for the summer. But I need to empty it first. There's only about 100 or so litres left in there, so let's just angle this perfectly and then it can fill up. This is cookies, there it is. 3 are filled, so that's 90 litres, and there's a little bit left in there, but they're just going to empty it now and get that sorted. And Theo is disconnecting the pipe, ready to rumble. You might be able to hear the tractor in the background, and that's because we're going to bring the other IBC down on the tractor. It's just awkward to carry and a bit too far, to be honest, so we thought whack it on the back of the tractor. That's what it's for. Such a handy vehicle. So Theo's just driving it up here, and I'm going to go and get the IBC tank ready to go on there.
So the new water tank is now in position. It's much better because it's covered, you know, it's a complete IBC tank. The other one, we basically cut the top off it the first summer we were here because we were baking and we needed a body of water to sit in before we built the little pool down by the well. And this is just going to be much better having it covered because no debris can come off the trees and it will just keep the water cleaner. And what I'm going to do now is just plumb in the outlet in to the tap that Bee's garden is, and then we need to look at sorting the feed that goes all the way up to the new tank above the house that we actually ordered yesterday. So hopefully that will come next week.
So now this one's in place, Theo's going to reverse the tractor and we need to move this one. Well, actually move it and clean it and then put it in the goat enclosure because this is going to be their water. And the tractor's perfect for this as usual. Theo absolutely loves using the tractor as well. Any excuse. whilst he drives the tractor, I'm going to take a shortcut and walk down to the goats through my lovely garden. Brings me a lot of joy.
So this isn't exactly, oh the flies all over me. This isn't exactly where the water tank's gonna sit. I'm gonna raise it up a little bit. I'm also gonna cover over the top so no rubbish can get inside. And then what I wanna do is add like a float valve to it that basically fills up the water from here. So we've got 1,000 litres of water in this tank, and then it fills up their trough when it gets low. So it's all kind of automatic. So all I have to worry about is making sure that this is got a lot of water in it. So they're going to be fine through the summer, because throughout the winter they didn't really drink much, but now it's getting warmer, they're drinking a whole lot more.
So that water that I filled up from the tank and put in those blue bottles, the 90 litres, Theo's going to go and get that now with the tractor so we can top up the girls' drinking water, because like he said, it's getting much warmer, so they're drinking a lot more. And whilst Theo's doing the water, hello Tild, I thought I'd fill up their little feed buckets that are scattered around the place, because they do love their feed. They eat the greenery obviously, but this is a nice extra supplement for them. Don't worry, I'll be filling it in a second. It's empty. There he is, Waterman. 90 litres of water, that should be good for a bit. They're waiting for their water. I just spotted Sky waiting at the water trough. But I'm going to do these now. And Matilda is eagerly awaiting. You're eagerly awaiting it, aren't you? Come on then, they're so cute and so inquisitive. Aren't you lovelies? Come on then. We've moved the trough away from the horse box because all of the cork debris was flying into it. So it should stay a lot clearer here, which is good. Is that all the 90 litres?
Yep.
Fills it perfectly.
So I've just done all of the plumbing that we need to get done for today until our new tank turns up. So we've ordered yesterday a 3,000 litre blue water tank. So this is a water tank that you can actually drink the water from. It won't build up any algae, which is nice, and they're extremely expensive. I was quite shocked at the price, but anyway, it will be well worth it to get nice fresh water into our home. So what we've got going on here is we've got our main well. As you all know, Manuel, he delivers the finest water in the area up here, and basically we have an isolation tap here that I've put in. So there'll be another pipe that goes off that we can isolate to send the water all the way up to that water tank I just talked to you about, and that will deliver water to the barn. And then if we turn the other isolation tap, the water will go up here and into this IBC that you just saw us move, and then that will send water to Bee's garden. So yeah, I don't know what more to say really. It's coming along nicely. It's been a really productive day so far.
We need to fill it up.
And it's not even lunchtime, so yeah, what we're going to do now is go and get the petrol pump, take it down to the well, and get this tank full of water.
I'm just going to whip up some lunch, a nice quick and easy one, because we always try and have a fast lunch if we can. So just rummaged around in the cupboard, found what we've got a rather sad looking pepper that needs eating and courgette. This isn't my garlic, it's one that I did get from the shop because mine's still not ready yet, but this is my onion. And it's been nice using those, and I've got some leftover rice, so we're going to make a vegetables and rice for lunch. And lunch is done. Looks very colourful and smells really good, so I'm excited to tuck into that because I'm actually really hungry. And now that we've eaten our lunch, it is the perfect time to get on with some pointing. So I've just got some water for Theo to get a mix on. The weather has gone really cloudy and breezy, so it should be a nice comfortable afternoon of mixing. The sun isn't on the end wall behind the corner where he will be pointing, and he's done actually quite a lot already and it does look really great, so he's got even more to do now. Whilst Theo's making the mix for the pointing, just jump over this, whoop! I thought I'd give you a little update on the garden because loads of the seedlings have come through now and they're doing really well, and I'm really excited to transplant them into the garden bed. And then the ones that I planted directly into the bed themselves, they've started coming through too, so I'm excited for this summer garden. Right next to the tap we've got my seedlings in their trays and they're doing really well. We've got peas at the top here, leeks there, they've all come through now. We've got a row of spaghetti squash which I'm excited to grow because I've never found it in the shops before. Then we've got 2 rows of cucumbers which should be great. Something has nibbled the leaves off this one cucumber, so I don't know if that's going to make it through, which is a shame. We've got one tiny little tomato poking its head through. I think it's either a tomato or an aubergine. You might be wondering, how on earth do you know what's in what because there's no labels? I have it written down on a diagram that I should have actually brought down with me. This next one is 2 trays of parsnips that have started to come through. I wanted to grow as many as I can because I have not been able to find these in the shops here. Bottom tray we've got corn which is doing amazingly. They've all come through at different stages, which is interesting. And then behind that I think it's more parsnips because I wanted to grow as many parsnips as possible. So that's the seedling trays, and then in the actual raised bed we've got some stuff coming through here, so let me show you that. This is the raised bed that's got the seedlings in it that are growing, and I've put some mulch on certain bits. I need to put mulch in other bits, but other bits are also empty. Like this back area is completely empty because I'm going to be putting the tall vegetables there, so I'm talking corn, tomato, cucumber, squash, things that are going to climb. We've got carrots coming through, which is fab, rocket, spinach, onions, rosemary, not sure what this little fella is, and then round here I have planted other things. It's interesting because not as much has come through here yet, but I've got things like parsley and geraniums, calendula. I think these are one of the flowers. I wanted to plant quite a few different flowers that would work to protect the vegetables as well, but not as much has come through on this side, which is really interesting, and I'm not sure why. Oh, here we, as I said that, I then spotted some more new growth here, which is really exciting. And my peas, which the ones that are substantial that I've had for a while, are just absolutely blossoming at the moment. There's so many pods on here. I'm waiting for them to all get nice and juicy before I pick them. These ones are almost there, and they're so sweet and lovely. I did another video before you saw where I used the leaves in a salad because they taste really nice. And then I've got onions growing down here and some random cabbagey stuff that the goats like to eat, so I use them as treats. And then here I've got my onions and more carrots growing, so it's all doing really well. I still need to sort the first bed out, which was my first ever garden bed, and as you can see I've left some things here to just do what they want. This is broccoli, so I've got a hell of a lot of seed pods here. This was a cauliflower. This one has just shriveled up and died since it turned into flower. Spinach is doing really well. This lettuce is just keeps on giving, and it's there as well. And then we've also still got the this cabbage that I will probably harvest in the next few days before the earwigs get to it. I've got a few chickpeas coming through. Brussels sprouts are doing so well. Look at this. See if you can see it. Hello, Brussels sprouts. So we shall be having Brussels sprouts for Christmas. Little tiny ones growing, so it's been quite fun to see how it actually grows on the stalk. And then we've got the leeks here that are producing their scapes. So if you trim off the scape, there, this one, you can eat these, and because you've trimmed it off, it allows the leeks to grow even bigger because they're not having to put energy into the flower growing. So that's what I'm planning on doing at the moment. I've trimmed off the scapes on a few of them, but they didn't all come out at the same time. So the garden is doing really well. I've still got a lot more stuff that I want to do here. I want to plant more flowers as well. I've got in my head sunflowers. I really want to grow some sunflowers. I've never tried it before. I know that the chickens love sunflower seeds, and I really want to grow things that the chickens and the goats eat as well as us, because it just makes it better, especially if there's times where we have to go out and leave them indoors and they can't forage all day. It's nice for them to have some fresh produce that we've grown for them to eat on, which I think is really cool. So I've also had messages from people on Instagram showing me their gardens that they're growing and stuff. Also on Patreon, people sending me their garden updates, and I absolutely love it. It's so lovely to hear what other people are doing and the successes that you're having. Whether you're a first-time gardener like me or a seasoned one, it's always good to hear.
So I don't know if you can see the sweat pouring off my face and into my eyes, but it's pretty uncomfortable. And yeah, I'm gonna get on with some pointing. Like I said before, I'm leaving the pointing until the afternoons or the evenings because it's just so warm. And today's like overcast at the moment, but it's really muggy. Feels really humid. So yeah, I'm just gonna be there drinking lots of water, sweating and chipping away at this pointing, and slowly but surely it will be finished. It's looking so good actually, like I'm really happy with how it's looking. So I reckon not too long and I will have completed the whole wall. So if you come into the barn now, it's so cool in the day. It actually feels like aircon in this room. And we've changed our living room setup. You might have noticed that our coffee table, which is usually there, is here and very messy, so ignore that. And we've actually put a TV in. We've bought a TV. We've not had a TV. I've never in my life bought a TV ever, and we got ourselves an Xbox because
There's a very logical reason for this. So we got a TV and an Xbox because of the hot weather. We just thought, and we know what it's like in the summer, we're going to be working early, probably 7 till 3, maybe till 2, 7 till 2 or 7 till 3, and then it's really hot by then for a few hours. The temperature doesn't start to go down, so you essentially can't really do much. And because we've got the barn, which is already much cooler than outside, you might have spotted we've got a fan there as well, which is wonderful. We're going to be spending a lot of time in the barn, and we just thought, why not have fun? I've never in my life owned an Xbox. I've always been a PlayStation kind of person, so it's been a learning curve using it, but it's actually been pretty cool. And that makes it sound like you do gaming all the time. I've not used a PlayStation since I was about 13. But yeah, we never thought we'd have a TV in the barn, but it actually works really well in this space under the stairs. It doesn't take up any extra space. It's made the living room feel like even more of a living room, and it's a really nice area actually. So I'm hoping that during the hot summer, when we're too warm to sleep or just not tired enough to sleep, we'll see how that goes. We've got the TV to play games on and also watch YouTube. Come on.
Hello.
I am walking the goats, but 3 of them, Margot, Aurora and Sky, just ran into the enclosure dramatically. No idea why. Matilda's just happily chomping on some dried leaves and didn't want to go in yet, so I'll stay with her. The others seem to want to stay in, and I'm holding some of my peas because whilst my back was turned, Sky took a nibble and pulled a whole strand off. So I've been feeding the bit that she left on the ground to the goats, and also ate the pea pods that were on there because I'm not going to waste them, am I?
So I've just finished pointing for the day. Actually ran out of mortar, but I got a lot done and it's looking so nice. It actually has transformed that wall and is looking so much better than when it was unpointed. And right now I'm just heading down to go and see where Bee is because I'm pretty sure that she's let the goats out, and it's getting on a bit into the evening, so it's about time that we get them back into their enclosure. Have you ever seen a shepherd who hangs out with her goats on a sun lounger? That's the life, innit? But it's time to get these goaties in and in their enclosure.
I'm going to go straight to the door. Come on then. Come on.
We made it to the lake. My favourite end of day, what would you say, pastime.
Activity?
Yeah, it's so nice here, and I'm hurting so much, like my tooth is really hurting. I think the painkillers that I had are wearing off. So what better way to finish the day than just jumping in the lake and just, you know, I've got stuff all over me, I've got sand all over me from mixing the lime. I can't wait to get in there.
Go on then.
It's going to be cold, obviously, but it's going to be refreshing, and I'm looking forward to when I get back, chilling out in the barn, having a nice dinner. I think we deserve it.
It doesn't seem like long ago that we were leaving the engine running when we were getting in the water so that we'd be nice and warm as soon as we got out, and now the weather is absolutely stunning. The water is still cool and refreshing, but it's so worth it. I absolutely love swimming outside in nature. It's just wonderful.
Oh, it's so refreshing. What a way to finish the day, you know. And what a day it's been. I hope you guys have enjoyed following us along on pretty much a typical day in the life of the Indie Projects. It's been a good one. We're going to end the video there. Keep on swimming. I'm going to have a little wash. I might even take my cap off. But yeah, thank you for watching, and we'll catch you on the next video.